This is the first video on Surds for Year 10 higher classes. What I would like you to do is read the knowledge organiser, watch this video and use it to work through the examples on page 1, try the questions from page 2 and complete any maths watchwork set. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at surds, we're going to be looking at multiplying and dividing and simplifying surds. So a surd is a root that you can't write out exactly as a fraction or a decimal. So for example, the square root of 2 gives us 1.414235. It goes on forever. So questions involving surds ask for an exact answer, so you have to leave the surds in. If you were to round this, it wouldn't give you an exact answer. A surd is commonly described as an irrational number because of that. Because you can't express it as a fraction or a decimal, it is an irrational number. A and B, where A and B are numbers, their surd rules are that root of A times the root of B is the square root of A times B. And the same works for divides. The square root of A divided by the square root of B is the square root of A over the square root of B. You can write that as a fraction, or the square root of A then divided by B. These two rules are what we use when we're simplifying fractions, and I'm going to go through some problems now which will make it a bit more clear. So if we're going to simplify the square root of 72, what we do is we look for the biggest square number that goes into the square root of 72. Now the biggest square number that goes into the square root of 72 is 36, and 36 is multiplied by 2 to give us that. Notice that 36 times 2 gives us the number under our square root sign, and that's where it comes from. What we then do is we look at our square number and we square root that. So that gives us 6 times by the square root of 2. And what we do is we write surds similar to how we write algebraic terms. We don't write the times next to them, so we would have 6 root 2. Say I have the square root of 18. I can do the same thing with this. Biggest square number that goes into 18 is 9 times by the square root of 2. It's just chance that I've chosen numbers that times by the square root of 2. They're not all going to do that. You then square root your square number to give you 3. And then you write it without your multiplication sign, similar to how you would do algebra. When you're simplifying surds, it's similar to simplifying fractions. You want to take out the largest square number to do that. If you take, for example, you could have taken out the square root of 9 for this, but that won't simplify that surd fully. You have to take out the largest square number that goes into it. If we have a look at this question here, it says find this, then simplify your answer. So you're going to do 5 times 15. So the square root of 5 times 15, and that gives you the square root of 75. Now that's not your answer simplified, because the square root of 25 goes into this and it is multiplied by 3 times to give you that. So again, if I wanted to simplify my answer, I find the biggest square number that goes into 75, which is 25. And then what do I times 25 by to get to 75? It is 3. I then square root my answer, my 25, which gives me 5. And then write it without a multiplication sign. And that is my answer, fully simplified. In this case, I'm asked to do a division. And again, I just do the square root of 40 divided by 10. Now that gives me the square root of 4. Now, there's something special about the square root of 4. If you have a problem that leaves you like this is a square number. So my final answer is just 2. And that's all I have to do for this question. What I would like you to do is use these examples to complete the questions on page 2 of your knowledge organiser and any maths watchwork set. Thank you.